Hey guys, this is Eli, and welcome back to another episode of Eli's Kingdom. Now, first things first, I just want to give a huge thank you to all of the lovely people who left me comments on my YouTube, on my channel, telling me they love my videos, they want to see more of this series. Thank you so much, guys, that really does mean a lot. It's nice to know that some people are getting enjoyment out of this, and it makes it all worth it. To hear you guys are enjoying this, it makes me want to come back and do more episodes, so please do keep it up, because I want to know that you guys are enjoying this. But yeah, thank you so much for that, and I know it has been quite some time since my last episode. I did take a bit of a break. I've actually moved country. I moved from Edinburgh, Scotland, all the way to Phoenix, Arizona. And, I've been planning this for quite some time. The day finally happened. I had to go down to London for the visa interview. I had to raise my right hand. I had to pledge my allegiance to Lord Trump, which was a bit of an unsettling thing to do, but they make you do it. You have to do that. And, everything seemed to go to plan. I got the visa came through. I got the flights. I had to pack everything in my suitcases. Everything I own I took with me. So I had 4 big suitcases. I moved my dog. I even moved my computer. I actually packed that in one of the suitcases and just padded it really well with a bunch of t-shirts. And it seemed to survive the journey. Like, there was a tiny little dent on one side, but other than that, everything seems to be working great. So I'm really happy with that. But yeah, I'm back now. I'm living in the suburbs, nice quiet area, so it's good to be recording. And I don't have any soundproofing setup, so I do apologize if my voice is a bit echoey. I don't even think I've got the settings right in the microphone, so it might take a while to get this up and running. But if you missed the last episode, or you just want a refresher of what we were doing, we finished off doing some work around this castle. So we did these really nice organic trees. I think this looks amazing, especially at nighttime. We have lights hidden on the inside, so it gives this really nice glow coming out. I did this between episodes, so I said I wanted to do something pretty epic for this window, and I hope you guys like this. I'm not too sure about the top half. It looks a bit like he's got a cone head, but I think because we have this creeper window now, we can officially call this castle Creeper Castle. I think that's going to work really well. What else did we do? I think we did some work on the elytra launcher, which is underneath Creeper Castle, and this was an underground elytra launcher that was supposed to fire us up through the ground, but it ended up being a bit of a death machine. I think we're now running Minecraft 1.11, so they're pretty much obsolete now because we do have these firework rockets. So I don't even think we're going to need that anymore. It was under here. I think I did some decorations between episodes as well. Yeah. So it's just behind these doors. We went through the elytra launcher. We triggered a tripwire which opened these doors, and pretty much 9 out of 10 times we just went splat into this rock here. So it was a good idea in theory, but it just didn't seem to work. We do have a new fountain up here as well. Just I wanted to do something really simple, so it is kind of a bit too simple though, but I kind of like it. We did a villager breeder, and yeah, this is just... These guys are out of control. They seem to be destroying the crops as well. I don't know if this is a 1.11 thing. I've never seen that before, but yeah, these guys are they will not stop breeding. I don't really know how to fix this. I mean, it's good that it's working. We are getting baby villagers going through, but this is a bit too much. It's creating a lot of lag on the system. Frame rates are going down, so probably going to have to put an end to this on today's episode. We also built an iron farm. Let's just jump over, and whoa, these things, whoa, this is really fast. I always forget just how much they push you along. But yeah, okay, so we decided we were going to do an underground iron farm. Now, in principle, that sounds really cool, but it's actually been probably quite problematic because it's underground. Now, I think in order for these doors to think it's part of a village, it needs to have daylight access. So we do have to leave this air block around the side, and it does seem to work. We have generated some iron. It's very slow, but I think that's as fast as it will ever be. Now, for this space here, we decided we were going to build some kind of villager trading system on the top. So I did actually take a couple of villagers over. I've put them in a cage so they don't run away. And yeah, we want a place where we can click on the villagers, we can trade with them. If we like their trades, then we'll keep them. If we don't like the trades, then we're going to flick a lever and they will, I think a piston door will open at the underneath, and they'll fall through, and they'll probably fall to their deaths, but don't tell them that. They don't need to know that at all. Yeah. But yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll actually use this this water area here. They can fall down with the iron golems. They should get channeled to this hole in the center, and that's where the killing chamber is below. So that should take care of them, but they don't know that, do they? Nope, you guys, everything's gonna be fine. Yep, nothing to worry about here. But yeah, so I think what we decided to do is we're gonna have this trading center, but we want to make it kind of special. So I think we're gonna turn it into a prison. Now, we definitely need some kind of prison here because these guys are just out of control. I mean, that is just too much. We need a deterrent for these guys to stop them from breeding, to stop them from damaging those crops as well. So I think a prison's going to work really well. Now, I think if you remember a couple episodes ago when we built the aqueduct, I said I was going to do an epic time lapse every 5 episodes or so, and I think we're about due for one here. So let's go ahead and break into a third person time lapse and let's get working on this prison. Well, I really hope you guys enjoyed that one, and I think this thing is looking really incredible. I love the look of this. I wanted to do something which was quite asymmetrical, so I think we used a lot of symmetry so far, especially in our creeper castle. This thing is totally symmetrical, so I wanted to do something which just breaks that slightly, and I think the front face is the only face which is symmetrical, but we do have a different roof, so that breaks with the symmetry. We have sides which are just completely different. I love this. I really like the different layers, stairs, different levels. Nothing is on the same height. You've got different size windows everywhere. I love this. And I think the block choice is really cool as well. Originally, I built this all out of cobblestone because I was trying to not use any stone bricks. But I think it's really difficult to do. And I don't actually like cobblestone. I think it's a really ugly block. I think it's great as an accent block. If you just use it sparingly, you have it every so often. But when you build something entirely out of cobblestone, it looks really cheap and nasty. I think the stone bricks, you kind of have to use them because of the stairs. They have the different accent blocks, and we can put some cracked ones around as well. The andesite, the raw andesite, I think looks really nice here. Like, it's a really nice accent block. And also this is, I think it's cyan stained clay there. It just works really well. So I'm so happy with this. And we do have our skeleton guards as well. I tried to include as many little kind of walkways and, hidden paths and things. I love that there's, the secret doors and things. You don't know where they lead to, so it's a bit of a mystery. And then every so often you're going to get a skeleton pop out. Let's just go around the back. We have our little watchtower on the top where they can, watch for prisoners escaping. There's another little hidden walkway back here. And yeah, I just really love this. Everything's on slightly different levels, so I never wanted to try and keep two buildings or two sections of this building the same height. Wanted to completely shake it up. And we still have our little air gap here for the villagers down there. So I think it should be working. I haven't actually seen any iron golem spawn, but I'm pretty sure it's working. We'll have to do a check to see that. And then the interior was quite a challenge because it's a prison that's obviously going to be quite sort of dull and unmaintained. And originally I did make this out of stone bricks and cobblestone, and it just looked really boring. It wasn't a very happy place to be. So I just wanted to put some color in here, wanted to make this look a little bit nice, more pleasant to be in. So I think this is going to be the villager rehabilitation center, where it does get a bit of money spent on it to keep it looking nice. And of course we do have our cells here. This is going to be our trading center. Levers on the side. It has to be a lever to open this trapdoor. We could use a button, but a lever is just so much more satisfying. I don't know why. And then, this is going to be 5 wide. I did actually toy with the idea of doing the trading centers where, I can't remember who made the design, but it's 1 cell wide and you have the mine carts. And the problem with that is you can see all the mine carts, you can see all the redstone, all the rails and things. It doesn't really feel like a cell, it's more of just like an actual redstone contraption. So I wanted this to look like a proper prison. I wanted this to be looks over function. So we do have these cells, they're 5 wide. The reason they're 5 wide is because we're going to have a tripwire in. So the tripwire is going to detect when villagers fall down. And we need to be able to, seal off the gap at the top where we'll have a water stream that goes all the way around. So this will be able to allow the villagers to, come along, drop down when they need to. When they do drop down, there'll be a piston which closes, so other ones can't drop down and they move on to the next one. And then the same thing here, we'll have this lever, we pull this open and, villagers will fall down. They'll fall down into our big water pit down here. And then I guess at the same time, the piston up here will have to retract again to allow another villager to come into this place. So in theory it should work, but we are going to have to design the redstone behind this. And this is looking really good. I think back here what we're going to do is we'll have a door here, and this is the nice kind of rehabilitation prison, but down here I'm going to have some staircases going down underground. We are going to need access to get to our iron farm. We're going to need to get the iron out of chests, but I'm going to do some kind of underground dungeon as well. I think that's going to be amazing. We'll have this is the nice prison down here, up here. Then downstairs we'll have the really dark and dingy prison. We'll have, a lot of fire, a lot of lava, screams coming from the hallways. We'll have the roar of the iron golems. Keep it really dark. We'll get some zombies out as well. So, our villagers have something to fear, something to be scared of. This will be where the worst offenders get sent. So I think that's going to be so cool when it's finally done. But yeah, let's head into a redstone testing world. Let's try and design the backside of these cells. And as if by magic, our kingdom has turned into a desert world. Yeah, we're in the testing world here. This is like version 20 or something of the prison. And that's one really good thing about doing this in a creative world first, is you can just, if you don't like it, you knock it down, you rebuild things, you can tweak them, play around with them, just get it perfect before you build them in your survival world. It's just 10 times easier, I think. But yeah, if we just head inside, it turns out the circuitry is actually pretty simple. If we just go around the back here, what we're going to do is we're going to use a bunch of tripwires stairs, as we mentioned before. I think our water stream is going to go along this level here, and we're actually going to use the redstone block as our retractable block, which is kind of cool because what it means is when we have a villager in our cell, the light's going to be on, and then when we eject the villager, the light should turn off. And I know that doesn't really, I mean, it's a bit pointless because we're going to be able to see if the villager's there or not. We don't need that, but I think it's kind of cool. I mean, you could just have a glance around, and if any of the lights are off, it means one of the prisoners escaped, so you can search for them. That could be pretty cool. But yeah, once they fall down here, they should trigger this tripwire. The tripwire just activates a very simple circuit here. We have a repeater going into a sticky piston with the new observer block. Well, it's not really that new, it's been up 6 months, but it's pretty new to me. And this is just a very simple one-tick pulse thing. So if we just flick this here, it should bring our block back, and then we can do the same thing again. We can just push that forward. So a nice little toggle circuit here where we can either have this forward or backwards. So that gets triggered with the tripwire. Then we have our little lever on the front, which should be able to eject the villagers when needed. That's just a simple piston back here. And then below we have another tripwire, which pretty much activates the same circuit. So, you know, once this gets triggered, then this whole thing should open up again. And that means it's ready for another villager to come in. I think the only slight problem we have is we need to take the water stream up to this corner because, you know, we obviously have to get the villagers up here somehow. And because we do have this one block air gap that we need to keep, we're going to have to squeeze the water elevator here. Now, we do have a bunch of redstone around here, and of course, water and redstone do not mix. But I think it's probably solved by having a sign here. If we just have a water source below, a water source above, we can actually put as much redstone as we want on this level, and it should be protected by that sign. I'm pretty sure it'll be protected. We'll figure that one out soon. And then I think once the villagers get up here, we'll just take them all the way around. They'll drop down if they need to, and then any surplus villagers that you know, can't fit into any cells, I think we'll probably just dump them down into the you know, the water streams below where they can finally get burned by the lava along with iron golems. I guess we could actually channel them into the dungeon when we do build that. I don't know if we're probably not going to need them all because at some point we're going to have way too many villagers. We're just going to need to get rid of them somehow. But let's pop back into the kingdom and let's get building this. And we're done. All of the redstone should now be in place, and I really need to do something about this grass. I just think this looks really silly having this here. But I guess we're never going to see this, so it probably doesn't matter too much. Although I do know in my mind that it's there. I might want to cover it up at some point. But yeah, everything should be in place now. We do have the water streams. We obviously can't test anything until we get some villagers coming in. There was one slight issue with the water channel, which should go along this level here. Now, we did have to place a block here, which is above this door, so it means we are going to lose a door from our village. Now, I did actually check to see if iron golems were still spawning, and they are, so if anything, it will probably just affect the rate slightly, probably not by much, so I'm willing to live with that. I guess it's possible we could replace this with a transparent block. I don't know if that's going to work. I guess it probably will do, actually, because when you build the villager breeder, you use glass above the doors, so I think, yeah, we can probably do with that with glass, and then this one's actually fine because there's a solid block down there, so yeah, I guess I can do that and it shouldn't affect anything at all. So I guess next up is to actually build the water stream, and we're going to need to take that from our villager breeder. So I think we're going to do an underground sewer. So because we have our villager breeder over here, I was thinking we could actually just connect this to our original sewer. Now, this is the sewer we built a couple episodes ago when we did the aqueduct. We needed a place to transport our items from the aqueduct into the storage room inside Creeper Castle. So I think if we just access that, we can use the same height that we built that on, and we can actually just use that to connect our sewers around the kingdom. So if I can remember correctly, it was somewhere around here. Yep, here we go. And I think I'll probably do some kind of access here as well, so we can actually have a dedicated sewer line, a bit like one of those manhole covers you see. We can do one of the gates or something, or the trapdoors to give us access. Oh, I was almost about to jump down there. I don't know if there's going to be any creepers down there. Let's go take a look. No, just this guy. That's good. So yeah, I think we can just dig in this direction. We can actually keep the same height, and we should eventually hit our villager breeder. The original sewer line has been extended over to our villager breeder, and I think what we can probably do is just redirect this water stream. So instead of taking it to the top of this hill, we can completely block this off and then channel it into the new sewer. And then this is kind of cool. We actually have a lava lake down here, so I decided to put some glass here just so the villagers can actually get a taste of their fiery death before they enter the prison. And then also down here, we actually cross the river. So I guess with the river, we have three choices. We can go below it, we can go above it, or we can go directly through. I think we're gonna go directly through because it'll also give the villagers a chance to taste their drowning death before going to the prison and probably get attacked by squids as well. Progress update, and I got a little bit carried away with the lava pit. Let's just take a look at this. I wanted to make this a bit like a Disney ride where you're going around and you just have stuff on both sides that you can check out, and you know, it's supposed to scare you a little bit. But what do we have? We have our emergency exit here. This is kind of like the last chance for our villagers to try and escape, and you know, they can jump on the stepping stones in the lava if they want to get there. We have this villager down here who's being drowned in the lava, and he's got a zombie friend up above him trying to jump down to him. And then this side we have another prisoner in the cage. His crime, he ate too many potatoes. So his punishment is he has to spend eternity in this cage, dangling above the lava, held up by this tiny little piece of metal. So I hope you guys like this. I should probably be actually doing some work now instead of just messing around here, but this was just too cool to resist. Well, the final water streams are now in place, and I figured the best way to test this out was to let these guys loose and see if it works. And they do seem to be making their way down, so let's head over to the prison and see if they actually make it all the way over there. Maybe a slightly worrying discovery that these guys seem to be getting stuck on where the signposts are. I mean, I thought this might happen, but I figured when new people come from behind, they usually just push them out the way. So let's see if this works. Come on, go, 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 go. Please work. Oh no. Oh yeah, it does work, yeah. Okay, so I mean, this might be a problem for the future because these guys are, you know, at least one of them is going to get stuck on every single sign and they should push the next one over. It's maybe not that big a deal, but we could try and figure out a fix. So we're just at the very final part of the sewer, and I've just put some temporary glass in just to block these guys, but let's see if this finally works. And whoa, I just got serious frame rate issues there as well. Right, they should be able to make their way up the elevator. Fantastic, yeah. And then let's head through to this room, and I guess in theory when they start falling down, these lights should also turn on, and you know, it should be one by, oh. That was not good. Oh. Oh no, there's one broken loose. This has not gone to plan at all. Oh yeah, we have one. I think they've actually just taken crush damage, and that's why they were dying. So I think that's why just the first ones. But yeah, this is good that this is now working. Let's see if we can get the rest filled. Are they going to come through? I mean, they should do. Oh dear. Well, anyway, unfortunately that is all we have time for in this episode. Hopefully we'll get the last guy coming in just now. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I really do hope you enjoyed this one. And if you did, then please do leave it a like. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe. I've been Eli. Thanks for watching.